He'll put up the three, but it will miss.
Spicer takes it in and out. That's going to be a charge against Samson Alemi. Great defense by Spicer. He got there way early and knew what Alemi was going to do and set up shop and let Samson just drive right into him.
Well, and I don't even think Oliemi saw him. There were a lot of bodies in between him and Spicer. But Oliemi will get the foul, and Philander Smith has the ball back. Very high pass across the board, and that's something we've seen a lot from Philander Smith this game.
Insanely deep three by DeAlvin Brown. It's going to be his third of the game. He's shooting lights out.
JVU's got to stop letting Philander Smith take these shots, because ordinarily you'd think that shots from that far out, they're pretty safe. You let the other team have those, but Philander Smith is knocking them down. Bodies all over Gilbert Gyamfi in that, and he'll be fouled.
Right now, that's what JV needs to be doing, is drawing as many fouls on these key players as possible. It's going to be on Spicer. That's his third already in the game with nearly 5 minutes left in the first half.
Spicer's got 4 points, but he's been a presence that's definitely been felt on the defensive side of the ball, drawing that foul a minute ago that prevented an easy 2 points.
He misses his first of 2 free throws. It's his second miss of the game.
Gyamfi with 6 points so far in the game, and 2 attempts from 3, neither which fell in, and he's got 2 rebounds. Kind of slow start for somebody who's been such a dynamic player lately in the past couple games for JVU.
Brown tries to take that one. That one won't go. It's tipped away by 33. Travis Morris, that's going to be a dunk by Philander Smith as they're able to get that steal.
Javon
Again,
Demerson trying to change the tide. Philander Smith in danger of just running away with this game. They have all the momentum right now.
Up by 16 points.
JV passing it along the 3-point line. It's Phillips to Hofgartner, who has some space. He puts up the 2, but it falls short.
No one's there to pick up the rebound except for Philander Smith.
JV just starting to fall apart. Too much space between players.
That's tipped out towards Philander Smith. It's going to go in and out. Rebounded by Max Hofgartner. Samson Olemi is going to bring it up the floor. He's got Curtis Phillips. Kofi Joseph's off in the corner.
That ball we passed, blocked, and that's off on Philander Smith.
Kofi Josephs was there for days calling for Gyamfi's pass, and that pass was knocked out by Philander Smith. Number 2, Tyson Oliver is going to come in for Philander Smith.
And you've got to know that JV is a little frustrated right now. They're having trouble getting anything going offensively, and even more than that, they've had no problems lately scoring the ball in other games. And that'll be a foul as Gilbert Gyamfi will just wait for Philander Smith's player. That was Baynard, I believe, who will get that foul. It just landed on him coming in to try to get the block.
Yeah, great job by Gilbert Gyamfi predicting what Baynard was going to do and see if he can hit these free throws. He's missed the past few.
That'll bring him up to 4 for 7. Or excuse me, that's from the field. But that will bring him up to 7 points on the game so far.
And Baynard's going to take a seat on the bench as Marshall comes into the game for him. Gyamfi takes a second shot. That one will go. Marshall inbounds the ball to number 2, Tyson Oliver. They're bringing the ball up fast, looking to drive this score up a little bit more before entering the second half.
3 minutes left in the first half of play. As Philander Smith will put up the shot, but it'll go off to the left. After a couple attempts, JV comes away with that rebound. All the way up for Oliemi, who will put that shot in, Gilbert Gyamfi, who gets the easy layup from a couple feet off the rim.
Good job by Jared Johnson hustling down the floor and drawing a defender his way, giving Gyamfi the open shot.
JV was starting to play a little frantic defense. Something with a height advantage too is we've seen Philander Smith is just able to toss the ball over JVU's defenders, something that JVU hasn't really had to deal with so far this season.
It's a no-look pass. Jared Johnson's able to get the steal as number 35. Dimerson was not able to handle the ball.
Philander Smith, Jermaine Holloman will be fouled for swatting the ball carrier.
It's going to be his first foul of the game.
Austin Freet getting ready to come back into the game.
Gilbert Gyamfi.
Gilbert Gyamfi.
He's taking the
free throws.
Taking a lot of free throws in this first half. See if he can get another one. That one's going to hit all over the rim but not go in. Kofi Josephs comes off as Austin Freet comes onto the court. Freshman from Texas. Austin Freet coming from Flower Mound. Gyamfi gets that second one to drop. It's Philander Smith now inbounds the ball. Drives it up fast.
That'll be number 10 Roy Marshall with the ball. He puts it into the corner. Trying to get something moving, but there are two JVU defenders that say no. He just goes over them but misses the shot.
Austin Freet able to get that rebound. Sampson brings up the ball to Curtis Phillips. Curtis Phillips to Gyamfi. Gyamfi passes the ball off to Curtis Phillips for three. And he sinks that one. Great three by Curtis Phillips and great assist by Gyamfi.
That'll bring JVU up to 37-45 with 2 minutes left in the first half. Very fast-paced game right now. Everybody's trying to just get some more points before halftime. JVU trying to get some of that precious momentum. It has eluded them all game so far. Pass into the corner, up to number 2, Tyson Oliver, who takes a three and misses. The ball will go off of a JVU player, and Philander Smith will get the ball back.
There's a wide open three from Oliver. And he is a guy that has not been able to find the three-point shot at all this season. He is now 0 for 6 on the season.
It was inbounded all the way out to Oliver, who is almost at half court. He'll take it in.
It's going to be a travel. He's trying to go hard to the basket, but Gyamfi is able to hold strong against number 23, Holloman. And he's going to come off the court.
Philander Smith attempting to bring up the pace a little bit too quickly.
Number 1, Brown, returns to the court. Number 1, Brown is their leading scorer.
Amy bringing the ball up with Tyson Oliver on his shoulder. It's Gyamfi now. Up to Johnson. Back to Oliemi. Tries to get to Kofi Josephs, but the ball doesn't get there.
Knocked away. It's a great floater by number 33. Travis Morris, as he is able to get it up over Gilbert Gyamfi, who is there trying to get the block.
And again, height being that real problem that JVU is trying to face on both ends of the court.
1 minute remaining in the half as JVU has the ball. Gyamfi trying to work on his Philander Smith defenders. Kofi Josephs with the ball. He's going to drive to the basket. Misses layup. Jared Johnson able to get the offensive rebound, and he gets those 2 points.
It's a power move under the basket, and that's something we needed to see from JVU. Moving in with authority and trying to draw some of those fouls, and if not, at least getting some of those easy buckets from underneath the rim, which they haven't been able to do so far. That pass will get back to Tyson Oliver, back into the corner, number 33, Travis Morris.
Curtis Phillips comes in and steals the ball away from Zimser, and Gilbert Gyamfi is going to go to the basket. That's going to be an and 1 basket as he's fouled going to the basket. Great job by Curtis Phillips getting the steal over Dimerson and then passing it off to Gilbert Gyamfi.
And that's got the front couple rows of the Bill George Arena on their feet. There's a major momentum change. JV starting to play the basketball that has brought them up to a 7-0 record. This game's starting to be one of the first couple threats to an undefeated first few games. Gilbert Gyamfi taking his free throw, and that'll go.
He sees his last few free throws. Really great to see.
15 seconds left in the half. Tyson Oliver in no rush to bring the ball in. They are now trying to make a move, but it's blocked. And
great job by Artie Pavlov.
Gyamfi goes up and has the dunk, announcing that he is not asleep and he is definitely in this game. That's halftime at the Bill George Arena. JVU pulling in a major streak to bring the game to 44-47 in the last few minutes after being down by as much as, what, 15?
Yeah, there's some points JVU was down by 16 points. And Gilbert Gyamfi saying, I can do that too, as he ends the half with that dunk. JVU now only down by 3 and a lot of momentum going away as they were able to get steals on one side of the court and then drive the ball down, get those points, not just stealing them and giving up the ball as we've seen in previous games has been detrimental to their success, but they've really come alive in the second part of this second half as they struggled early on.
And that's something that we've needed to see from JVU too, with a slow start, having a lot of stolen passes and just shots that weren't quite there all the way.
Yeah, Gyamfi currently is their leading scorer with 12 points. He's 4 for 7 of the field. Josephs is 1 of 2 for the three, only two threes taken in the first half. But foul trouble from Johnson with 2 fouls and from Hofgartner with 2 fouls. JVU's 2 big men with 2 fouls each. Artie Pavlov coming off the bench for JVU, he only has, he doesn't have any fouls. And then Spicer for Philander Smith, number 22, he has 3 fouls. Baynard has 2 fouls. And Dimerson, Philander Smith's big man, has 2 fouls. The leading scorer for Philander Smith right now is number 5, Baynard, followed with Dimerson and Marshall, who both have 8 points each, and Brown finds his way in the middle there with 9 points.
And Philander Smith is also in a little bit of foul trouble. 2 of their highest scorers, Baynard and Demerson, have 2 fouls. Brown, the next, has 1.
Yeah, JVU currently, right now, is being out-rebounded by 18 to 20.
This one right here.
This taller Philander Smith team able to get rebound advantage over them.
All right, cheer him on, fans.
But it's been impressive to see how even with that height disadvantage, JVU has stayed under the baskets and gone for as much as they could get.
Oh, Blake. So sorry. Here you go, guys.
And JVU really needs to work on their free throws, as they're only 9 for 17 right now, only shooting 53%. Again, 17 free throw opportunities compared to Philander Smith's just 5. Philander Smith right now is 3 for 5. So JVU, good job on not committing a lot of fouls. At the same time, they need to start making those free throws.
Absolutely. This could be a totally different game. JVU could be driving this game in the lead if they had made all of those free throws that they've been missing, or at least half the free throws that they've been missing.
And we'll see you all in the second half as we watch Chase Pogue, Jr. from John Brown University, attempt a half-court shot.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but how your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Cut me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the John Shee High Court, your John Brown Golden Eagle.
Team.
Absolutely, and JBU just really not shooting that well in general today. They're at 42%, which is better than, oh excuse me, that's for threes. They're at 53%, which is trailing only by 0.7%, but you like to see JBU putting up better shots, especially seeing how many of those shots were from pretty close to the rim.
Samson Alomi is going to turn it over as he tries to pass to Gilbert Gyamfi underneath the basket. Flander Smith was just there, too fast.
Right, and that's been a problem that JBU's had too, is those weak passes at the beginning of halves, especially at the beginning of the first half. That's part of what put JBU down in that hole that they were in towards the middle.
Flander Smith is not able to control the ball. Gilbert Gyamfi makes it a jump ball. Way down.
Very long three. They haven't been afraid to take the extra feed on the three.
Yeah, Morris taking the three now. Kofi Josephs is going to pick up another foul. Flander Smith is going to inbound the ball. It's Kofi Joseph's second foul.
Kofi Josephs at this point has 7 points in today's basketball game, and has been an important part in passing and assists as well.
And number 10, Roy Marshall is able to get the offensive rebound and put the ball back in. for Philander Smith. JVU inbounds the ball to Samson Olemi. Olemi's going to bring it up the field.
Again with that full course press from Dalvin Brown. That's we saw really early in the first half. Just kind of throwing JVU off of its fast break pace. And that pass will be tipped away by Brown as well. Leads to Philander Smith bringing the ball back in quickly. And a quick little jumper by Tevin Morris.
So 2 steals for Philander Smith early on in the game. The first 2 possessions of the game resulted in 4 points. Philander Smith now is up by 7 points, not just 3.
And one of the worst things for JVU out of that is that they've lost all of that momentum that they stole at the end of the second half, or the first half, excuse me, bringing in an incredible run to come within 3 points. Max Hofgartner there passing the ball back out after trying to get a short layup, but that won't go. Gyamfi brings the ball in, makes it a really impressive.
It's that leaping drive from Gyamfi. He's able to get it to the basket and draw the foul.
Really energetic play from Gyamfi, and he's done that a couple of times so far this game. Just jumping into the lane when he sees a chance and picking up the points and free throws.
Takes the shot. He misses the first free throw. Number 5, Baynard's able to get the rebound.
Morris bringing the ball up for their team. Trying to bring it into the three-point line. They do. That's Brown. Excuse me. That's Baynard.
Baynard misses his first 2 attempts and gets those rebounds, and then Dimerson is able to get the height advantage and tip the ball in as Philander Smith keeps their lead at 7 points.
Gyamfi bringing the ball in for JVU. That's to Phillips. He holds on to it and is fouled.
Baynard just getting too much of his hands in, and it's going to be a hand check, and that's going to be his 3rd foul.
And that's that new rule that's caused so much trouble across the league. They've started calling hand check. It's always been a rule, but they've just started enforcing it this year.
Curtis Phillips is going to inbound the ball. Sampson comes forward. Swings the ball around. He's going to pass it to Gyamfi. Gyamfi to Hofgartner. Hofgartner to Phillips. Phillips is going to drive forward, backs off, passes the ball to Kofi Joseph. Kofi Joseph looks for the pass. He's going to give it to Curtis Phillips. Phillips is going to drive. Does not get the layup. Is rebounded by by Kofi Josephs, and he is fouled on his way up for the basket. That's going to be charged to number 1, Dalvin Brown. Philander Smith drawing a lot of fouls on their key players right now, so they need to be more careful as John Brown goes to the basket.
Absolutely.
Kofi Joseph sinks his first free throw.
And that's a lot of the problems that JVU had in the last half, was Max Hofgartner having to sit through a lot of the first half, uncharacteristically a lot of the first half, because of his early foul trouble. He's kept out of foul trouble so far this half. Still has the 2 that he picked up towards the beginning of the first half of the game, as JVU will knock down that free point.
Philander Smith bringing the ball up extremely fast, trying to score as many points, obviously, as possible. They're a high-scoring team, and they do a good job of slowing down the JVU offense. It's going to be an air ball. Rebounded by Max Hofgartner, and it's going to be hit out of his hand. It's going to come off of Max Hofgartner's knee and out of bounds. Now it's Philander Smith basketball all over again.
And that was really unfortunate too, because that was a great block on that shot. Max Hofgartner with the presence of mind to quickly grab the rebound, but Dalvin Brown will end up taking the points out of it with a very long 2. Gilbert Gyamfi with the ball now, taking it out against that full court press again. Brandon Spicer keeping him company down the line. Ball's up to the top of the key and that's a blocked pass by Dalvin Brown, but Samson Olemi has it.
That is 2 passes in a row that have been tipped by Philander Smith. One by Samson Olemi, one by Kofi Josephs. Curtis Phillips and Kofi Josephs are going to come out of the game as Quentin Smith and Jared Johnson come into the game.
And we've talked about the height advantage that Philander Smith has in this game, but something that you don't mention as much is the wingspan advantage that Philander Smith has. And they just have longer arms. They can get into those passing lanes quickly. JV is not used to that, so they'll have to adjust. Philander Smith bringing the ball in, and that's called a travel as number 10, Roy Marshall, will get his feet moving before the ball, thinking about a three-pointer. Coming in is Max Hofgartner to inbound the ball. Oliemi has it now, bringing up the court. Oliemi drives and drops in the easy 2 points to bring JBU up to 50-55. The ball is across to number 22, Brandon Spicer, up into the paint. And that'll be a jumper by 35, Javon Demerson, to put his team up 57-50.
Yeah, 6'10" Demerson had no difficulty against Jared Johnson with turning and just shooting straight over him.
And Jared Johnson's a very good defender, but he's not quite as tall as Demerson is, and I think Demerson really took advantage of that there. And that's a foul by Philander Smith. I'll go to Roy Marshall away from the ball. Gilbert Gyamfi in to inbound the ball. Phillips will come in for Oliemi, and Zach English will come in for Max Hofgartner, and Gilbert Gyamfi will leave for Kofi Josephs.
English passes the ball to Johnson. Johnson off to Curtis Phillips. Curtis Phillips looking for his passing options. Looks to English, doesn't pass it. Passes it to Kofi Josephs. Josephs, Quentin Smith to English. Curtis Phillips over to Kofi Josephs.
English
Three.
all over
With someone in his face. Looks like he twisted his ankle as he hit that three. He's limping a little bit. See if Philander Smith is able to identify that Kofi is not running on all cylinders and see if they go to score on him.
And he's sidestepping around the defensive zone, obviously in some pain. But he's doing a good job positionally, and they haven't been able to take advantage of that.
Brown, deep three. It doesn't go. Curtis Phillips is able to get the rebound.
Curtis Phillips bringing the ball up for JVU, up to the top of the three-point line. Tries to pass it to Josephs, but he can't get free. That ball will go to Quentin Smith. Quentin Smith brings it around to Johnson, to Curtis Phillips, all the way across to Zach English, who takes the three, and it will bounce off to the left, a little bit past the net. Quick rush from number 33 will fall short, Kevin Morris. And that ball will go to JVU.
Great rebound attempt by Spicer, but he's not able to get a handle of the ball. He knocks it out of round. Kofi Josephs is going to inbound the ball to Curtis Phillips. Curtis Phillips is picked up by Morris. Morris giving him plenty of space, but still sticking with him.
That's English at the top of the key. Number 20, Quentin Smith with the ball now. Almost falls over Morris. Back to Kofi Josephs, to Johnson, to Phillips.
Deep three, oh my goodness, and that
will go in. Kofi Josephs with the extra 3 feet on the three-pointer. And
see if the defense can hold them off.
Philander Smith trying to get some points back on that play.
They do. Demerson again over Jared Johnson.
Very athletic move to go under the backboard and still to come up with those points.
Demerson now has 14 points on the game. They're up by 3.
And JVU in with the ball. That's Quentin Smith on the side. Off to Kofi Josephs. Kofi Josephs to
Curtis hits the three.
Another long three for JVU.
JVU hustles back, trying to pick up Philander Smith. And Philander Smith is going to go too hard to the basket. He loses the ball. Number 22, Spicer. It's going to be JVU ball again.
We'll see here if JVU can bring the momentum onto their side as they have tied this basketball game 59 apiece, and there will be a timeout by Philander Smith to try to keep JVU from taking too much of this momentum too quickly.
JVU doing a great job of holding off the fouls to a minimum as Hofgartner, Johnson, and Josephs are lead with the fouls for JVU just with 2 each. However, Philander Smith struggling as Brown, Baynard, and Spicer each have 3, and then Marshall and Dimerson each have 2, and that's who they have on the court right now is those 5 players. Dimerson leads the team with 14 points, but he only has 3 rebounds as Baynard, number 5, has 7 rebounds. JBU down on the rebounds by 6, 28-22.
To inbound the ball. There's Curtis Phillips bringing the ball up. At half court now.
Kofi Josephs, he's looking all right with that ankle that we thought he might have twisted earlier. That's a bad pass by Jared Johnson. Kofi tries to save it, but it goes out of bounds. We had not seen Alex Howell, number 3 from Philander Smith, return to the court, unfortunately. Not sure what his situation is, but he has not played so far.
And he doesn't even seem to be ready. If he's on the bench, he's wearing a t-shirt.
Nice moves by Baynard. See his ball goes up and in.
With Curtis Phillips bringing the ball back for JBU. Passing half court now with Baynard hot on his tail. There's Gyamfi with 18 points so far this game. He's really stepped up and been a big part of this JBU rebound, as it were.
He does a great job of getting to the basket. He's not able to get the basket, but he is fouled by Dimerson. That's going to be Dimerson's 3rd foul.
We'll see if Gyamfi can capitalize on these free throws. He's been a sporadic free throw player today, even though he has been very instrumental in getting those foul totals up for Philander Smith so far this game. Philander Smith will also make a line change. That looks like Jaron Egby coming in.
Dimerson's going to come out of the game.
Dimerson, who has 2 fouls so far, as Gyamfi gets ready to take his 2nd shot.
It's great to get Dimerson out of the game for JBU, as Egby only has 0 points. He's drawn 1 foul. Hasn't been able to make much of an impact for Philander Smith this game so far, as his minutes have been limited.
Moore setting up a play. He brings the ball in, passes it deep inside, and Baynard will get the really close 2 points.
Yeah, Baynard was so close whenever he jumped up. He hit the rim with his head. That guy can jump.
Which again talks about how tall he is too.
They're
Phillips.
putting a lot of focus on Gilbert Gyamfi, double teaming him whenever he has the ball. Samson Alemi is going to travel. So he tried to work his way through Philander Smith's defense.
That'll be the first traveling call on JBU tonight. Philander Smith has had problems with those. They've got 3 so far. There's number 33, Tevin Morris, getting ready to set up a play. To see if JBU can keep them from sneaking inside like they did on last time that they had the ball. There's Dalvin Brown. Waiting for somebody to pass to, back to Morris. And Baynard will go up and dunk the ball from point blank.
And Kofi Joseph's not able to keep up with him, and Baynard knew it. And so he just took the pass, turned around, and dunked it.
And he is so tall. If he gets the ball under the net, there's not a whole lot JBU can do without causing a foul, which again...
That's going to be a hard foul from number 33.
Gilbert Gyamfi flying across the court. He's limping just a little bit. He looks all right. He'll take his free throws. He's got to be a little bit banged up. He's been the target of a vast majority of the fouls so far today from Philander Smith.
Yeah, Gyamfi, this will be his 12th free throw. He's right now 7 of 12, or I'm sorry, his 11th free throw. He is now 7 for 11.
And he makes that first one.
So Gilbert Gyamfi already now with 21 points on the game and nearly 11 minutes left to play in the game.
He makes the second one, and again, he is one of the biggest reasons that JBU is still in this game with his 22 points. 10 minutes left.
JBU goes back into a zone defense. Philander Smith is looking to get that pass inside.
Morris to Brown. Brown back to Morris. Morris will try to bring it in. And you notice that Baynard's trying to get inside, but JBU's not letting him go unattended.
There's that athleticism by Dalvin Brown. just slicing and driving. They're up by 4 right now. Brown has 13 points, but the team is led by Baynard with 17 points.
And JBU really has to adapt to all the different offensive weapons that Philander Smith has. And that will be a 3-point shot by Kofi Josephs, and he brings JBU in within 1 point, 66-67 with 10 minutes left. And that shot will go off the bottom of the rim as Jordan Egby was too close to the net before he took that shot. But
yeah, Kofi Joseph's going to pick up his 3rd foul. He is not happy at all with himself.
No, and especially with as bad positioning as Egby had on that shot, that wasn't a foul that really needed to be taken.
See if this big man can hit the free throws. It's his first one. It's his first points of the game.
And that will put Kofi Josephs up to 3 fouls so far today. He'll be leading the team, in fact. Max Hofgartner has only got 2 fouls, and he got those towards the beginning of the game. Stayed out of foul trouble since. Along with Hofgartner, Johnson has 2 fouls, both of which also came towards the beginning of the game.
He's going to miss that second one. Kofi Joseph is going to be able to get the rebound as Sampson brings up the ball. He passes it off to Max Hofgartner. Max Hofgartner has a block shot. It's going to go out of the bounds. It'll be JBU basketball.
Demerson back into the game.
It's going to be Philander Smith's 4th block of the game. It's going to be inbounded to Olemi, easy basket. But now wide open Philander Smith basketball as Marshall's able to get to the basket real fast.
And that's just frustrating for the Golden Eagles too, because they had such good positioning on that play. Marshall was just able to go right above them and score anyway. They had Hofgartner and another player and better positioning, but in the end, Roy Marshall has been able to knock down those buckets from improbable angles.
Yeah, Philander Smith still shooting. They've taken 55 shots to JBU's 41. They're 33%. I'm sorry, they are 56% from the field, and JBU is also 56 from the field. The big difference is JBU is shooting 50% from the 3-point line as they are 7 of 14, and the majority of that has come from Kofi Josephs as he is 4 for 5 tonight. Now, the last time JBU played Philander Smith, Kofi Josephs did not have the usual game he normally has, and he was 1 for 6 against Philander Smith, and last game against Williams Baptist, he was 2 for 13. So great turnaround by Kofi Josephs as he brings his 3 back to John Brown University. JBU keeping the turnovers to a minimum as they only have 10. Meanwhile, Philander Smith has 9. But the big difference there is Philander Smith has 20 points off of turnovers, while JBU just has 12.
And another part of that too is JBU's struggle with passing with the long arms of Philander Smith players so far. But another thing that's going to be important to watch over the next couple minutes is that Philander Smith has 4 players that have over 10 points. All of them are on the field right now, and 3 of the 4 have 3 fouls at this point in the game. So if any of those gets into foul trouble, then that can be a huge blow to Philander Smith's offense. They'll have to make sure that they stay out, and JBU will have to play aggressive basketball to draw out those fouls, as doubtless they will have to be careful to make sure that they can stay in the game.
This Philander defense just really not working to put a lot of pressure on JBU offense, but more looking for that bad pass that they can just steal from them and turn into points.
And that shot will go up and be rebounded. The play will be called, waiting for the signal. That'll be a foul, charging by Roy Marshall.
And now all of the players on the court for Philander Smith have 3 fouls each. Meanwhile, just 1 JBU player has 3 fouls, and that's going to be Kofi Josephs. Kofi Josephs and Gilbert Gyamfi, who's now taking his free throw. Leading the team in points, that's going to be Gilbert Gyamfi's 23rd point. In the previous game against Philander Smith, Gilbert Gyamfi was a key to the success with 23 points. Meanwhile, Kofi Josephs he had 17 points in that game, but again, all that was coming from inside the paint. Not much of it was coming from his 3-point shooting.
Well, an interesting thing about Gyamfi too is that this 23 or 24-point game for him is not an outlier. He's been averaging over 20 points a game for the past 3 games, scoring 64 in that period. And that will be a foul charge to Kofi Josephs. That'll be his fourth. Looks like that'll be a blocking foul. The crowd did not like that.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 call for me. It could have gone either way, but he was showing shot and appeared that Curtis Phillips was just not able to get there fast enough. We pause for a little bit as the ref clears up where Curtis Phillips' sweat landed all over the court as he fell down.
Very physical basketball game being played so far. Very fast-paced. And that's resulted in a lot of fouls again, with all of the players for Philander Smith who are on the net or on the court right now have 3 fouls.
Back in the game now for the Golden Eagles, Austin Freed.
Baynard's going to hit that. He now has 18 points. Austin Freet comes on the court on for Kofi Josephs.
He's got those 4 fouls, in danger of fouling out for the game. They'll keep him for later.
He misses that first one. Curtis Phillips is able to get the rebound. He passes it up to Gilbert Gyamfi. It's 1-on-2. He gets there, but is fouled. See if it's by Baynard or Dimerson, as both had contact. It's going to be on Baynard. That's going to be Baynard's 4th foul. It'll be interesting to see if Philander Smith takes him out of the game for a little bit or keeps him out there.
He's been a very important part of their game. 12 points so far, but he's been doing very, very good defense. That won't show up on the stat sheet. We've been saying his name a lot in connection with blocks and connection with good defensive plays and turnovers.
It doesn't look like the coach is going to sub out Baynard. He's going to keep him in there as he's a huge scoring asset. Again, Philander Smith bringing the ball up really fast, not giving JBU much time to get back into their defense. Dimerson's going to go up, but he's going to be fouled. It's probably going to be by Austin Freet, as Freet brought his hands down too hard onto Dimerson.
And that will be charged to Freet, excuse me. That'll be his 2nd foul.
Dimerson's going to take free throw, it up, and it's out and in. Comes back out.
And that'll keep this a tied game with 8 minutes and 55 seconds left. JBU now in the bonus. 2nd free throw by Dimerson.
Good. It's going to be a timeout called by Philander Smith's coach, Sam Weaver.
We'd like to take a quick second to thank our sponsors again. Zaxby's Chicken for feeding our crew, for just being a great part of Siloam Springs. You can go and visit their website, zaxby's.com, or you can go to their Siloam Springs location. That's Zaxby's Chicken. We'd also like to thank My Positive Edge for sponsoring us. They are Northwest Arkansas's hit music alternative. You can get their free iPhone or Android app, mypositiveedge.com. So JBU down 1 point with 8 minutes and 55 seconds left off of that last free throw.
Yeah, I'm not too worried right now for JBU Eagles. They're playing just great with Philander Smith in the 2nd half. Just can't let them go off. And I don't think Philander Smith is going to do that because they're in foul trouble. I think they're going to be a little bit less aggressive as this game goes on, giving JBU more open shots. Again, Kofi Josephs, JBU's main shooter, has 4 fouls, and I anticipate he'll be out of most of this game. That way, in case this game goes into overtime, Coach Shihai will still have him. Zach English really bringing up the shooting for JBU while Kofi Josephs is out. Zach English is going to sit on the bench, though, as JBU comes out of this timeout. Jared Johnson, Curtis Phillips, and Gilbert Gyamfi, Samson Olimi, and Max Hopgartner in for the game. And for Philander Smith, we have Roy Marshall, D'Alvin Brown, number 5, Baynard, and Dimerson are all in the game. All of their leading scorers, as they have seen the majority of the minutes for this Philander Smith team. JBU trying to work the ball around.
And you know, in that huddle, they had to have been talking about penalty or fouls and what to do to avoid those, and they will cause one right there. That was Dimerson coming in on.
It's a fortunate foul for JBU, as it didn't look like that ball was going to fall either way.
Max Hopgartner will get free throws, and he's been a pretty solid free throw shooter this season.
Max Hofgartner having a great game. He's going to miss that first free throw.
Oh,
He's not having the game he had against them last time, as they've been playing hard defense on them.
well, and
Max Hofgartner's mom flew in from Austria to see him play. She cheers him on as he makes his second free throw.
that brings him up to 7 points this game, and I think a big reason why he hasn't had quite the game he had last time against them was that he was in foul trouble early and didn't really get into this game very much in the first half, and so hasn't gotten into the rhythm of things. But he'll put up that easy 2 points to bring his total up to 9. JV will now lead 74-72.
Yeah, D'Alvin Brown had a shot that was airballed. However, Tevin Morris, he makes that 3-point basket.
Max Hofgartner inbounding the ball. That'll be Oliemi carrying it back up to Max Hofgartner. They'll set up, and Philander Smith hasn't gotten there quite yet. Gilbert Gyamfi will take advantage and take up a short shot off the glass for another 2 points. JVU now leading by 1.
So Max Hofgartner with the free throw, the points, and the assist as Demerson gets the ball stolen by Curtis Phillips. Curtis Phillips then turns the ball over as it is intercepted. That's going to be a shot to go up. Curtis Phillips not happy at all with himself as he had such a great steal, only to just hand it over and give Philander Smith's easy 2 points. Now they're up by 1 point, 77-76.
And that was Johnson with that interception and the 2 points on the fast break. Now go into Phillips. JV putting it into Phillips in the bottom, but that shot will be goaltended. That's not a foul you see very often in the NAIA, but with the height that Philander Smith has in this game,
The points are credited to Curtis Phillips.
Curtis Phillips will go ahead and get those 2 points that he would have scored if it hadn't been interfered with.
Oleme coming off, going to get some bench time.
Oliemi with a dominant performance in today's game.
Number 22, Spicer's going to come off the bench for this Philander Smith team.
Philander Smith will take it around the 3-point mark. That's Spicer carrying it in into Marshall, who jumped up and looks like he was fouled.
Yeah, Zach English. That's an interesting call. I would have thought Jared Johnson looked like he tossed his hip into him a little bit, but Zach English just got his hands on Roy Marshall, and the ref called Zach English for that foul.
And he'll pick up his first foul of the game. Marshall sinks his first free shot. That'll be 13 points, and 3 fouls for Marshall on today's game. He's been a big asset defensively as well to Philander Smith as he sinks that second one.
Yeah, Roy Marshall, the last game against JVU, had 15 points. He also had 4 rebounds.
Hofgartner inbounding it. That's to Oliemi, who is back off the bench. Phillips with the ball. Carry in slowly. Trying to get something going. Jared Johnson with the ball out off the point. Phillips to English, who puts up the 3, and that will ring in and out. Philander Smith back with the ball, running back on a fast break, and he'll pull up. That's Spicer with the ball off to number 23 Holloman. Back to 22 Spicer. Spicer with the ball up at the top. And there's Baynard. Pulls up and shoots a towering 2.
Zach English able to get the rebound and the foul. It's going to be called on Tevin Morris. I'm sorry, not Tevin Morris. Jermaine Holloman. That's going to be Holloman's second foul.
Marshall, Morris, and Demerson all on the bench right now. They have a majority of the points between them in today's game for Philander Smith.
English needing to hit these shots. And the first one goes.
And that'll bring us up to a tie game, 79 apiece, with 5:59 left in the game. Zach English's free throw.
And many of these JVU fans that are listening may not have heard of Philander Smith. Philander Smith made it into the national tournament last year and lost in overtime to Montana Western. JBU also lost to Montana Western in overtime the year before in the national tournament during the first round. So very equally skilled teams with very different styles of play.
And Philander Smith is 4-1 on the season so far, with their one loss coming from John Brown a couple of weeks ago. As Morris will bring the ball in up to Baynard, who kicks it out to Spicer, and he will run over.
Oh, that
Curtis
is a
Phillips.
charge. Curtis Phillips getting that charge finally, as he's been called for a few blocks in this game.
Finally got the positioning he needed. That'll be 4 fouls for Baynard. Curtis Phillips bringing the ball up. And if JBU could get Baynard to get off the floor for a little while, that would be definitely a good thing. He's the highest scorer for Philander Smith, and he's also a dominant defensive player.
Curtis Phillips thought about it too long, as he's going to get called for traveling. Looks like Dimerson's going to come back onto the floor.
Dimerson also with 4 fouls.
And Roy Marshall is going to come off the bench. So players are trying to figure out who's coming off for who.
They have 6 on the floor at the moment. Egby will get off. That's Spicer carrying the ball up. He's got 4 fouls. Off to Morris, who has 3. Back to Baynard. Spicer to the corner. Back to Spicer, back to Baynard. Baynard will put up a wobbing pass, and Dimerson will do a good job of dodging the defense to put up a layup. Very aggressive full court press by Philander Smith.
Yeah, Spicer all over Olimi.
Which is interesting given the foul trouble that they've been in, how aggressive they've been playing. And that'll be a foul. And hitting the ground hard will be, is that Josephs?
Kofi Josephs hitting the ground hard even after the foul is called. But that's going to be
Spicer's last foul.
So he's going to come off the floor. Not sure. I mean, that was an obvious foul. I don't get the purpose of that foul.
Didn't help them at all, and that deprives them of one of their best defensive players. The crowd here at JBU chanting Spicer off the field.
Kofi Joseph is going to try and get these free throws. First one goes. JBU ties up the game 81-81. Kofi Joseph now has 19 points, and the team is led by Gilbert Gyamfi with 27 points. That second one doesn't go, and Dimerson gets the rebound.
81-81 in this game with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. That's Brown off to the corner to Baynard. Baynard will try to put up a shot. He goes up, and it looks like he will get the foul.
Great defense by Max Hofgartner, not letting him get the shot as Baynard wanted that, but he traveled. JBU having to get a bit more creative on these inbound passes as Philander Smith is upping their press as JBU tries to inbound the ball. That pass is attempted to be picked off, but JBU, that pass is definitely picked off. It's a long pass by Curtis Phillips
And
that number 10, Roy Marshall, was able to find, leaping across the court, knocks it away before Kofi Josephs was able to get the pass.
he traveled through a lot of space to get to that pass and knocked it out of bounds, but at least JBU will get the ball back. And Gilbert Gyamfi with 3.
Point basket by Gilbert Gyamfi.
Great pass by Kofi Josephs. Everyone was looking at Josephs to make that 3, and Gilbert was right there. Dimerson is fouled on his way up. See who the foul is on.
They haven't made a signal yet.
It's going to be on number 15.
Samson Oliemi.
At the line for 2 shots, Javon Emerson.
Thankfully, it was not Kofi Josephs, as he was right there. Kofi Josephs has 4 fouls, but still in the game as he has 19 points as she is shooting lights out from 3 and getting those assists.
Well,
that's going to rattle around and go in for Dimerson.
And JBU needs as much offense as they can have on the floor right now. As we pointed out towards the beginning of the game, Philander Smith has the potential to put up 120 points in the game, and they have done so this season. JBU needs to do as much offensively to keep up as possible, and also on the defensive end of the floor.
Gyamfi's going to bring the ball up for JBU. So he's trying to work his way through Tevin Morris.
Curtis Phillips with the ball now. Over to Josephs.
JBU getting a lot of movement out of this ball.
Josephs with the long three, and he'll make it sink as Morris goes into the JBU bench. Kofi Josephs has 22 points in the game as JBU moves ahead 87 to 83. And this does not even look like the same team that fell down by 16 points in the first half. JBU is moving the ball a lot better, taking much better shots.
They weren't able to get back down there and get the defense as Tevin Morris had a wide open three and he hits it. They are still just down by 1.
They'll kick it out to Phillips to Oliemi, who tries to carry it in. And he'll get it in. No foul called until now.
That's going to be called out of bounds on JBU, so Philander Smith is going to bring the ball in. 3 minutes left in the game. JBU only up by 1. The big numbers here are the fouls. Lots of fouls for Philander Smith's key players.
Philander Smith doesn't have a player on the field right now that doesn't have 3 or more. That'll be 33 Morris, who has 3. We'll toss it in. That's Brown to Demerson. And he takes the long 2. But he can't get it to fall. And they're molesting Max Hofgartner there on the inboards. But he gets it out, and that's to Phillips. To Hofgartner, and he puts up the 2. And even if he had managed to block that, Demerson was going to get called for goaltending on that one.
JBU up by 3 now. Max Hofgartner gets in the double digits with 11 points. Philander Smith is going to call a much-needed timeout, as even though JBU is only up by 3 and they've been exchanging points back and forth, all the momentum has been with JBU. The majority of the Philander Smith points have come off of miscues by JBU, turnovers. They have not been hard-fought baskets by any means. Meanwhile, JBU's baskets have all been hard-fought, excellently executed plays. Even in the fast breaks, just fundamentals all the way down the court.
Absolutely, and JBU's been controlling the play and their offensive zone, something Philander Smith just can't do anymore. Maybe it's because they can't be as aggressive with as many fouls as they have on the floor. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game with 3 points separating the two teams.
Yeah, Kofi Josephs right now lights out from 3 as he is 5 for 6. Maybe the best three-point shooting we've seen all season from Kofi Josephs. They are now shooting 53% from the three-point line as Gyamfi is 1 for 4, and Curtis Phillips perfect from the three-point line. He is 3 for 3. They're shooting 58% from the field. Philander Smith still shooting very well, 56%, and they are 6 of 15 from the three-point line. Nothing to be, I guess, disappointed about, as that's excellent three-point shooting for any team. The turnovers are even, 12 to 12. Points off of turnovers, again, still favoring Philander Smith, 24 to 15. And then JBU keeping it up there with that taller team. They are only down 3 by the rebounds, but again, JBU is known for their rebound margin, and they don't have it right now.
Well, and it's hard for JBU to change the way that they're playing against a team that's as much taller than they are.
DeAlvin Brown can't get that 3 to fall, and it's going to be a foul called on Philander Smith. I'm sorry, I think they're going to, not sure what the call was on that.
It looks like it went out of bounds off the top of the basket.
Yeah, so JBU is going to get the ball. Malumi is going to bring the ball up the field to Gyamfi. Gyamfi looks to Max Hofgartner, doesn't see it. Off to Kofi Josephs. Kofi Josephs looking for a pass, gives it back to Gyamfi. Gyamfi to Malumi. Malumi trying to find a way through this zone defense. Kofi Josephs from downtown.
He'll put in a low three-point shot. That will bring JBU up to 92 to 86, one of their first almost comfortable leads of the game as they get ready to set up defensively.
It's the biggest lead by JBU so far tonight.
Morris with the three-point shot, and it'll fall. That'll bring Philander Smith back within 3 points.
JBU trying to work through this press defense. Gets it to Curtis Phillips.
And that was a three-point shot by Morris that they desperately needed to slow down JBU's offense a little bit. But they're able to put it back in, and that's Oliemi to
Kofi Josephs. That one doesn't go. That's going to be called out as Max Hofgartner tips it out of bounds.
Joseph's a little upset. Looks like he thought he was fouled. He got ran over a little bit by Marshall towards the tail end of that play, but it was not called.
Yeah, Kofi Josephs knows that's going to hurt his shooting percentage as he's trying to get that up there.
Marshall across the court to Brown.
Hits that three unguarded as they tie up the game with 1 minute left in the game. They don't press. They go all the way back to defense. First time we've seen that in the game. His coach is calling for motion.
Going for a different defensive look, trying to confuse John Brown a little bit. Phillipson to the top. That's Oliemi. And he takes another one of his leaping shots across the lane.
Gyamfi gets that basket, and he is pumped up. He's trying to get his team pumped up, too, as they go into this timeout called by John Brown University. All the fans here at Bill George Arena on their feet as they are hoping this does not go into an overtime game. Although I do think that JBU would do just fine in that overtime game with how many fouls this Philander Smith game has.
Absolutely, and even more important than that, the momentum swing that we've seen in the second half. JBU has always been a second half team to begin with, but just the amount of control that they've been able to exert in the offensive zone has been impressive, and it's really confused this Philander Smith defense, I think, to have a team that's made so many miscues early, and they've been able to turn that around a lot in this half.
And that's Chip Pollard up on his feet. You can see how excited he is. He's just thrilled with this basketball game.
And it's a great one to come out and watch. We knew it was going to be a good one, as close as that last game was, and this one has not disappointed.
Philander Smith is going to bring up the ball. Samson Olemi and Gilbert Gyamfi are going to pick them up at the top of three-point line. They hustle back, making sure they don't roll the ball to save time.
There is Morris at the top of the offensive zone. He'll kick it out to Brown. He's looking for somebody to pass to. Back out to Marshall.
7-second clock differential.
That's Marshall back with the ball over to Brown, who puts up the long two, and that will sink as Philander Smith will tie the game at 94 apiece. JBU now has a chance to take this game in the last 17 seconds, as they'll have more time on the shot clock than they will on the playing clock. Philander Smith now regrouping in their timeout to try to figure out something to do defensively to stop this JV offense that's just been clicking on all cylinders in the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, Kofi Josephs is going to come into the game with 17.8 seconds left. Plenty of time to score. Also plenty of time to turn it over, which would be heartbreaking for this JBU team. They've got to use up all that time with this fast-moving Philander Smith team. They cannot give them any time on the clock, as in the last game against Philander Smith, even though it was a 1-point game, that happened because Philander Smith hit a half-court three with 1 second left on the game clock. So they are obviously capable of making those half-court threes, which sounds insane, but JBU knows that that can happen, as it happened against their last game against Philander Smith.
And even with long threes, Philander Smith has shown that they are willing and able to hit shots from well beyond the three-point arc. And
yeah,
so
Philander Smith is currently shooting better percentage than JBU. I'm sorry, not as good, but 44%, 53% for JBU. But the free throws, about the same, 67, 65. The big difference is JBU has made 22 of them, while Philander Smith has just made 10. So 12 points better for JBU, but JBU has also missed 12 of those free throws.
And JBU's got to make sure that they're not afraid of overtime. As we mentioned, with the foul differential between the two teams, they'd be likely to win in overtime. But if they get too greedy and try to force a pass that's not there, this could easily turn into a Philander Smith win with a last-minute basket.
10 seconds left.
There's Max Hofgartner at the top of the key. He'll pass it off to Kofi Josephs. Back to Hofgartner. He'll bring it in, pass it in, and his shot is blocked. Philander Smith will go out of bounds, but not before the game clock expires, and we are going to overtime here at the Bill George Arena.
Yeah, step back two by Samson Olemi as the clock wind down was blocked easily by the much taller Philander Smith defender. As we're going to go have 5 minutes of overtime right now. Again, Philander Smith definitely in foul trouble with all of their leading scorers. Nearly all of the players on the court right now for Philander Smith have 20 points. They all have the capability of having 20 points by the end of this game, as number 1, DeAlvin Brown, has 18 points. Number 5, Baynard, he's got 18 points. Number 10, Roy Marshall, he has 14 points. Number 33, Tevin Morris, he has 18 points. And number 35, Javon Dimerson, he's got 19 points. So very evenly distributed points for this Philander Smith. Different story for the John Brown Golden Eagles.
Absolutely. Gilbert Gyamfi is really carrying the offense a lot on his shoulders. He's got 32 points for this game. Kofi Josephs has got 25. Phillips and Hofgartner both have 11 apiece. But the biggest difference, again, is that JVU is not in the foul trouble that Philander Smith is. If any one of those players on Philander Smith's side gets fouled out, you have to keep in mind there are only 3 points on the bench of Philander Smith. This starting squad, the 6 players that they've been playing a lot this game, including Spicer, who fouled out a few minutes of game time ago, is really carrying this offense. You haven't seen really anything from the backup team. Holloman's got no points. Egby has 1 off of a free throw. Howell has 2. And so really what we'll have to watch here is how Philander Smith responds to having 5 extra minutes of game time when they've been in foul trouble for the past 10. Getting ready here for the tip-off. That's Max Hofgartner getting ready to set off against, looks like, you can't see his number from here. That will be Demerson. Demerson will win the tip, unsurprisingly, as he is a bit taller than Hofgartner. He'll kick it out to Brown. Back to Demerson, and then he'll pass to Marshall. Back to Demerson. Or excuse me, Morris. Morris taking the ball up. He'll get it into Demerson, who is down low. He gets the 2 points.
JVU's got to be careful because this Philander Smith team is very capable of racking up points really fast if they let them.
Absolutely, but Philander Smith was also, you saw in that last drive, almost a lack of energy on Philander Smith's side. They've been playing very physical ball for all 40 minutes of the game so far. This extra 5 might just be a little bit too much of them, especially even without the foul trouble that they're in. Moving a little bit slower on defense as well, as Samson Oliemi kicks it out to Phillips, who will take the 3 but miss short.
Dimerson there for the rebound. JVU hustles back. You have to get a stop here. Roy Marshall with the ball, looking for pass to Dimerson. Dimerson to Baynard. Baynard guard by Max Hofgartner. He's not going to get the basket, but he is fouled by Max Hofgartner.
That'll be only Hofgartner's 3rd foul for the game. Again, he hasn't committed one since towards the beginning of the first half, doing a good job of staying out of foul trouble. Baynard off to the line to take his free throws.
He is a great free throw shooter.
4 of 6 in today's game so far, looking to make it 5 for 7, and he does not. He'll be 4 of 7.
Kofi Joseph is going to come in the game for Jared Johnson, as Coach Gihai replaces a strong defender with a strong offensive player.
JVU absolutely has to get that tide of momentum on the offensive end back that they had it towards the end of the second half of regulation.
And he makes that second free throw. Philander Smith now up by 3, trying to give JVU their first loss of the season.
Gilbert Gyamfi bringing the ball up for JVU off to Hofgartner. He's looking for a 3 but won't take it. Back to Gyamfi, back in the corner. Doesn't really have much room. Hofgartner will get it down under, and he jumps up and takes a commanding second 2-point shot. He won't get it, but Phillips will tip it in to the JVU Golden Eagles, and that's a 1-point game.
And JVU's going to go into their zone, but DeAlvin Brown has different plans. As he shoots a 3, it's going to go over the top of the backboard. DeAlvin Brown, seeing that the JVU defense not setting up their zone in time, and takes that 3-pointer that was wide open.
Well, it was good for JVU that he missed, though, and that will keep it a 1-point game, as looks like Gyamfi, or Oliemi, excuse me, will take the ball up. Oliemi in no rush to force the play. Gyamfi with the ball now. Gyamfi again has 32 points in today's game. Back up to Kofi Josephs, back to Phillips, and he'll try to get something to work. He gets the 2 and a foul, and this is a big chance for JVU. to pull up an extra few points as they're up by 1 point now.
And that's going to be Dimerson's 5th foul. He is out of the game. Their big man with 21 points. He has done a lot for this team. And number 40, Jaron Agabi, is going to come back into the game.
Dimerson, we've said his name an awful lot today. He's been a commanding presence on both sides of the ball. And without him, Philander Smith is going to look like a completely different ball team.
That free throw doesn't go. Agabi's able to get the rebound.
So there's not a three-point play there, but more importantly, Dimerson is off of the floor now.
Dimerson with 1 block. That point's going to go.
That'll be a point by Baynard, pulling up a long 2. Gilbert Gyamfi bringing the ball in for JVU.
Philander Smith up by 1, 99-98.
Very much higher scoring game than JVU is accustomed to playing in, even without the overtime. They had an overtime game last time that they came up, and the total barely cracked 100. As Max Hofgartner brings the team past that point with 100-99 to JVU's favor. Brown with
Baynard looking for the pass, but he's not getting it from any of his teammates. As Max Hofgartner is just playing great defense against Baynard.
Baynard with a little bit of space down low will get the ball.
He's going to look to score, I think. No, he passes it out.
Well, he's got to be careful, too, because he's already got 4 fouls. The only player on the floor right now with 4, with the exception of Kofi Josephs for JVU. A nice pass.
It's going to be a foul on Curtis Phillips.
Curtis Phillips, that was his first foul of the game.
Philander Smith is going to go up by 1 point, 101-100. As he's going to attempt Roy Marshall his 1 shot.
Taking a quick break to wipe off the floor where there's a massive bodies on the ground. As Marshall prepares to try to convert the 3-point play. A huge point this would be. Marshall puts up the basket and makes it. That's a 2-point lead by Philander Smith. Kicks it out to Gilbert Gyamfi, who carries it down the floor against the full court press, which has returned with overtime. Gyamfi driving in, and the play will be whistled short. That's a foul.
It's going to be called short. It's going to be on number 10, Marshall. It's his 4th personal foul.
Gyamfi will get 2 shots. His basket will not count as it was taken too far away from the original foul. But since both teams are in the bonus, Gyamfi will get 2 shots.
Gyamfi from Branton, Ontario has brought a lot to this team. A transfer. He'll just be playing at John Brown University for 1 year.
But it's been a huge year so far. Gyamfi with 33 points already in this game. Well, already we're in overtime.
Make that 34. Game's tied up. Philander Smith pushes the ball fast. Max Hofgartner on Baynard, their leading scorer. Baynard looking to go to the basket, and he's going to travel. Great defense by Max Hofgartner, not letting Baynard have that easy basket, making him travel. It's going to be a timeout called by Philander Smith's coach, Sam Weaver.
And that's been an incredibly important matchup. Hofgartner with Baynard down in the low part of the offensive zone, as Baynard has just kind of had his way throughout a lot of this game. He's got 21 points, 4 fouls, and a lot of rebounds. He has 8 rebounds today. As Max Hofgartner has finally tried to sort of figure out what to do with Baynard, and that's resulted in a couple travels and a few fouls.
Be interesting to see what coach has planned out for this Golden Eagle team. Who he wants to score, or if he's just telling them find the easy open basket and take it. Kofi Josephs is going to inbound the ball. Philander Smith is not going to pick up the full court press as they normally do, but Alvin Brown's going to stay at, oh, never mind, here they come.
Here comes the full court press. The ball game is now tied at 102 apiece with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the game. There's Gyamfi trying to come in, and he'll score.
Very fast points by Gilbert Gyamfi as they hustle back, trying to get into that defense. They have to look at DeAlvin Brown, make sure that he does not get that easy 3, because he has been lights out tonight so far.
Max Hofgartner staying on Baynard.
There's 1 minute remaining in the first overtime.
making sure he doesn't get another easy 2 points from point blank, as he has done so many times this game. Philander Smith passing it around. That's a 3-point shot by Morris. That will give Philander Smith a 1-point advantage with 45 seconds left in the basketball game. Gyamfi bringing the ball up for JBU. He'll take it inside, pass it back out. That's a 3 attempt. And Kobe Josephs looked a little funny getting up with that ball. With a little bit of trouble. No more shot clock, as the game clock has reached 28 seconds, and that ball will go back to JBU.
Curtis Phillips able to go hard on the defender, making him dribble it around a little bit too much, and they turn the ball over. JBU now has the ball down by 1 with 28 seconds left. They inbound it to Olumi.
JBU's got to score here, but they can't give Philander Smith too much time to get back on the offensive side of the ball. And
that's going to be a foul against Kofi Josephs. Kofi Josephs shooting very well. Looks like he got hit in the face. Number 33,
that's
Tevin Morris. That's going to be his 4th foul. Doesn't really matter at this point in the game.
Morris will not have to sit down, but he does have 4 now.
Kofi Josephs trying to adjust his contacts. He needs to see, because he needs to hit these free throws that he's about to take.
These are absolutely vital free throws. And this rebound off of the last free throw will be important too. If he misses that second one, JBU absolutely has to get that rebound.
All the fans at Bill George Arena up on their feet. A lot of pressure on Kofi Josephs right now for him to make these 2 free throws to put JBU up by 1.
He is 5 of 7 for today's game so far.
To tie the game. That's going to go.
Huge, huge free throw.
And their coach is going to call a timeout. Philander Smith head coach Sam Weaver doing a great job with his team, making adjustments as they get into foul trouble. But the Philander Smith's bench just has not been there compared to their starters. I mean, their starters are just insanely good players. Really, really great players. JBU's bench has been able to do a little bit more for their team, but not much. Just 2 points more for JBU's bench over Philander Smith's bench, because a lot of that scoring has come from number 23, Kofi Josephs, and number 12, Gilbert Gyamfi, with 36 points.
Absolutely, and you look at that Philander Smith bench, and right now they have 2 points sitting on it. If you don't count Egby, who's on the floor now because Dimerson fouled out. And you just have to wonder what would have happened if those players had fouled out earlier. Right now we've got Baynard, Marshall, and Morris all with 1 foul left before they get kicked out of the game. Brown has 2 left.
A lot of kids in the audience today, as there's a basketball tournament going on in the other gymnasiums here on JBU's campus. They're sitting in the crowd watching some of these college players play basketball.
And it's been a great show for them too, because just an incredible game today. A lot of energy, very fast paced, a lot of scoring. It's 105 apiece right now with 20 seconds left in the first overtime.
All right, Kofi Josephs. Gilbert Gyamfi and Max Hofgartner cannot foul on this inbound. Shots up, and he makes it. JBU up by 1. They are backpedaling, trying to get back for defense. It's going to be number 33, Tevin Morris, bringing the ball up.
Only up by 1 point. Absolutely have to stop this defensive press. 10 seconds left in the basketball game as Philander Smith is having trouble getting the ball in past the 3-point line. That's Morris who brings it in, passes it back out to Egby, who does not take a shot. Back to Morris, who takes 1 for 3, and he misses, and that game is over. 106 to 105 JBU in overtime. Morris is still on the floor, can't believe he missed it. Kicks the ball off towards the cheerleaders. What a game.
Tevin Morris, fantastic shot by him. I was scared for a second. I thought that one was going in.
And especially reminiscent of the last time these two teams played, where, as you said, there was a half-court shot that was sunk for 3 right at the last second, to no avail, of course.
And the JBU Golden Eagles are going to come over to the fans as they sing the fight song. Great performance by JBU Eagles as they are pumped up. not many more games until they go into the regular season for this John Brown Eagles team. They have just one more game against Dallas Christian, who they just dominated last year in the preseason. And then it's conference play from December 3rd on. They start off with St. Gregory's here at home and then Wayland Baptist here at home. Great performance by JBU. Talked to Coach before the game, and he said that they just wanted to get the scoring low by Philander Smith. Obviously wasn't able to be achieved as Philander Smith had 105 points. The 2 one-point victories for John Brown Golden Eagles over Philander Smith.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a series that could have been more exciting than that one. It's not often you get a matchup where in multiple games they're only separated by 1 point a game.
So Max Hofgartner giving his mom a hug as he comes off the court. She was able to make the flight in and talk to her before the game, and a lot of her flights were canceled due to weather, but she was able to make the flight in to see her son play. Max Hofgartner celebrated his 21st birthday just earlier this week. So great game by this Golden Eagle team.
And Hofgartner had a good game. He had a slow start, again with that foul trouble. Ended up with 13 points and 3 fouls and 4 rebounds, but he was instrumental really in detaining Baynard down in the defensive zone, was able to figure him out and keep Baynard from scoring more points, which, I mean, honestly, that could have been the difference in today's basketball game.
Yeah, Oliemi playing the majority. Oliemi and Curtis Phillips playing the majority of the minutes for the team. Phillips had 40 minutes and Oliemi had 38. JBU able to stay out of foul trouble except for Josephs, who had 4. Didn't face his minutes at all as he had 33 minutes on the game. Curtis Phillips shooting lights out from 3. He's 6 of 9 for the night. He also had 5 rebounds to go with that. Curtis Phillips led the Golden Eagle team with 8 rebounds tonight. 3 of those offensive rebounds, which he also led the team in. Curtis Phillips also led in assists with 6 assists on the game. Olimi had 2, but Gyamfi, he had 5 to go along with those 36 points, a career high tonight. Just great performance from him. Good performance by Artie Pavlov coming off for a few minutes to help out his bigs.
Absolutely, and Jared Johnson with a very good performance today. He only scored 4 points. He was 2 for 2 from the field, but I think his most impressive stat today is that he was +8 on the plus minus. That is, when he was there, he provided such a good defensive presence that in a game as high scoring as this one and with such violent swings of momentum, JBU was able to score 8 more points when he was on the floor than when he was off of it.
And the final score, 106 to 105, John Brown Golden Eagles. We're going to take a break, and we'll have an interview with Coach Shihai right after the break. All right, I'm back at Bill George Arena here with Coach Shihai. Another overtime win. You guys like these overtime wins, huh?
Well, I think first thing, I think Philander Smith has a very good team. I mean, they're very well
Very
coached.
good
Coach
team.
Weaver does a good job. They play hard. They create so much uncertainty with their defense that well, late possessions, big possessions, they do a good job with that. And I think we got better playing them. There's no question. And I think from what I've seen, I think they're for sure a national tournament caliber team. And so we're trying to get there, trying to build on it and keep working at it. But I was proud of our guys today.
Yeah, great performance by Gilbert Gyamfi. 36 points. That's a career high for him. And then they were really looking at Max Hofgartner as he dominated them last game with 32 points. And they kept him to just 13 points, but he still made a great impact for John Brown.
Yeah, I thought Max did a good job. I mean, I know we knew after watching the film. I mean, he was so efficient last time we played him. 13, I believe he was 13 of 17 from the field, and we knew that they would really try to squeeze down his easy ones and make it hard on him, which they did. And then we also, I just thought Gilbert played really well. He was really aggressive. With the new rules, they were calling a lot of fouls going to the basket, and he did a really good job of creating offense in that way. And I thought he was really good and really good at key times. When we needed baskets and they'd hit spurts and do some things, I thought he was excellent at key points in the game to keep us where we had a chance to win it.
In the last game against Philander Smith, Kofi Josephs was just 1 for 6. And then the last game, he was just 2 for 13. In this game, he comes out and just shoots lights out, 6 for 9.
Yeah, his percentages haven't been great. I mean, he coming in tonight, he was below 30 from 3, and he's a good shooter. I mean, he's one of those guys that can hit them back to back. Can string some shots together, and so I'm glad to see him start hitting some, because I think that'll unleash some confidence for him. And as his percentages go up, then our offense gets a little bit better. One thing we've got to do a better job of, Matthews, is we got to defend better. I mean, our goal coming into the game was not to let them shoot over 60% in a half. We've done that our last 3 games. And second half, looking at the stats, they shoot 63%. That's not winning basketball. And so, I told our guys in the locker room, I mean, it's a nice win, and a great crowd and a great atmosphere. But we got to get better, because I think as we go into league and as we're getting closer to that, we've got to understand that you can't let teams shoot that high a percentage and feel like you've got a really good chance to be successful.
Yeah, Philander Smith, a great test before you guys head into conference play. Just one more game before you guys take on St. Greg's here at Bill George Arena. What is on the slate for getting this team ready for conference play?
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back. We're gonna practice Monday, and then we're gonna go Tuesday early morning so that our guys can get home for a couple days for Thanksgiving. We front loaded our schedule a little bit so that everybody could get their breath caught in Thanksgiving, and then come back and play Dallas Christian, who's always well coached, and they do a good job. They compete hard, and we'll play them on Saturday, and then we got to get ready for St. Greg's. I mean, they're 5-0 right now. They've swept the preseason number 2 team in the country. They beat them twice, and so I think that's a testament to how strong our league is, that it's going to be every night. And I hope that we're becoming a team that can get involved with the discussions of being in the mix every night. And I think we're getting closer, but we got to defend a lot better. We got to rebound a lot better and make some strides in those areas for sure.
Yeah, you guys lost the rebound battle tonight, I believe, by 4. And normally you guys have a very high rebound margin.
Yeah.
And last year, excellent rebound margin. And at the beginning of this year, great rebound margin.
Yeah, and that's something we talk about, and that's something that we want to do a good job of. I mean, numbers don't lie. If you can out-rebound your opponent, you really increase your chances of being successful. And so that's something that we talk about and emphasize every day. And and some of that I think is we're still trying to adjust. And we got to get over it, but we're still trying to adjust. Without Big Nate in there, I mean, he was helping carry the load in there. So now we're at times with smaller lineups, and we just got to continue to work on that and get better.
Yeah, Big Nate was averaging 8 rebounds a game, and he told me he's scheduled for ACL surgery next week.
Yes, and I'm proud of him. He's such a great guy. I mean, we really like this team, and I don't know how many games we'll win. I'm not even worried about it. But I mean, we had grade reports. They got those in, and I told our guys it's the best grade reports we've had since I've been here. I mean, everybody's doing well in their classes, and they're taking care of their business. Our young guys are getting better and helping us, and I think if we continue to do those little things that it takes to be successful at John Brown, I think we'll continue to grow as a team. And so I like these guys. And we just got to keep making strides. But to answer your question, sorry I got sidetracked. Answer your question about Nate, he's got surgery, and we want that to go well and him start his road to recovery. And sometimes you can have a medical redshirt year, and that can be the best thing for you because you get to sit and watch and realize how much you love it, you know. And so we're hoping that's the case and that his development keeps coming because, well, he was really developing, you know, early in the season like he was going to be a sophomore that was really going to help us. So we're still planning on that from him.
All right, thanks for speaking with me, Coach. Again, the game result, 106 to 105. JBU comes out with the win.
Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate you guys and all the work you do to watch this. I mean, I think and to do the broadcast. So many people watch. Our players from 7 different countries their families get to watch. So please know, Darren in the back. I mean, we value you guys so much because it allows all of our guys to let their families watch the game, and that's a real blessing. So thank you guys.